Madam, the left side of the General Observer, Moira Singh, Maming Dr. Mohammed Aziz Ahmed, Commissioner and Secretary, Government of Assam. I say 27 by 18 the second number section the hour and proposal होगा जो आई मिसिंग से चेक तौरे अंदर हम से लेटर रोड पर कुछ पहले 27 by 18 दा ना आपने ये जो होगा से हमारा सेदा केस के आज केस में सुबह है ना वजन ये हमारा रोड
Tidak minyak lah. Tidak minyak lah. candidate election campaign with the voice my money provide like that education qualifications in me public movie can lack my MBOD see my highest can always see certificate with them plus my dependent amateur like the MC Sumra Landra, dependently as of all knowledge is concerned. My mother lady dependent on our hygiene. She's in the particular scene the younger one. Dependence in the see, going to the market dependence in the logic. It's yourself the cell city, rental music and I in the rental long. MLA for honorable and lady, Pandro, and they, Magi announcing number 242 rental Male. Madu information for this number. Children can tell you. Children Magi qualification, election campaign, Canada. Don't want to get along with the Tajaba. And I already received document internet with a Indian Yava. The tendency, the Tibrasi, led my room, when in the Poka, Mount Tomida, the agenda. My brother in July, my mother still alive in July. She will affidavit my mandatory documents in candidates to get the hand of the people under the as you all the defendants in the area to be furnished over the high information. She did furnished over there. Since the discussed those. I'm still single. My brothers, my mother, my mother is survived when married. My father is an accident. Dependently, the time was question raised to be dependently independent, was the father alive, but my mother survived and my father's pension. I do whatever I do, protecting show cash to that. Not an issue at all. My question is, Maxi, is honorable community let my the first and ever. Person after my father looking the mana help the family and those entire. Mana head of the family, like my brothers in see, Mali dependent and we don't pay from like brothers who were measure minor of the I wife like 3, I give children like 8, and I give brothers into measure happening. So I think there's no question of
the question being raised by my agent. I'm a candidate. He is my agent.
Okay. Any objection?
The point raised by my agent is the candidate of Congress, the present sitting MLA, has two brothers. After denying his father, and then he has a mother. What will be their position vis-a-vis the candidature of Mr. Prithviraj? Second, the issue is whether there is any business establishment being run, managed by his brothers or any dependent, any family member of the candidate. Two issues. Then the third issue is whether there are documentary evidence to prove the educational qualifications mentioned in the nomination papers of the candidate. Three things he has raised.
As far as the dependent is concerned, both my brothers are all major. They are no longer minor. So they are dependent on themselves. So I have no connections with whatever they are not dependent on. And as far as my mother is concerned, my mother survives on my father's pension. So since I'm single and I'm unmarried and I don't have any children, so I don't have any dependent. That is the reason. And as far as the educational qualification is concerned, yes, I think whatever I mentioned in my biodata, it's all true to my knowledge, and I will be ready to provide with the documentation anytime. Maybe I might take some time.
According to the instructions issued by the Election Commission of India, I think one has to release the documents in 1 day's time before the scrutiny, before the final issues. You may refer to the instructions, and the 1 day's time may be given to the candidate in case they want to revert something. Issued by the Election Commission of India. Candidates handbook. Special instruction is issued by the Election Commission.
Page 264.
There are 5 mandatory documents mentioned in the Election Commission's instruction. And one of the requirements is that educational qualifications of the candidate. And in case the election agent or the candidate registered issues and the rebuttal required to be done within a particular time frame before the 14th of this January in this case. This is 2009 handbook because we have not been given any handbook so far. But I think the Election Commission's letter states. See documentary evidence की नहीं होगा. Requirements to see. After that, clarification की मता में तो पल्ली बनी. Rebuttal तो बता रहा वो दिस. तारीख के शुभ मानूंगा. I will be next 1 day कितने available together से to submit the rebuttal by the candidate. This is the Election Commission's letter. Attached to it.
That he will give the affidavit, but we will not presume that all everything is not a true.
Sigi affidavit City Port Commissioner decision low Purina. Say the wrongly bomb the war whether Sumna to the team appointed of the appointed accept.
Point raised.
Solution is there. Or solution is there. They give the wrong statement. That is a false statement regarding the dependents.
No. The key point is the issue being raised by us is, in case we are going to consider acceptance or rejection of a particular nomination paper filed by a candidate, then we have raised certain issues that has to be clarified. Because there are grounds for rejection of a particular nomination paper in case false information was furnished and that too under oath, then we will still say that we have accepted it. So the Election Commission's instructions are very clear. It says that this clarification has to be furnished within the given time frame, and that's let down. It's not my submission. This is the instruction of the Election Commission of India. No, time for clarification has to be given. Please look at the Election Commission's instructions. And this clarification has to be given before saying that it is accepted. Time should be given, no doubt. Let us look at the Election Commission instructions. I have gone through it. We have to furnish the document. We are asking because one of the mandatory requirements is communication. No, you cannot qualification.
As far as the question raised by the agent and the candidates regarding the dependent, I have already clarified that they are all majors. They are no longer minor. They are all above 18. So they have their own stream. They survive on their own. And as far as my mother is concerned, I have repeatedly said that my mother does not depend on me. Any certification regarding my education qualification is concerned, I'm ready to furnish.
So give me the evidence.
No, it's not evidence. Evidence is not evidence. We are raising certain issues. One of the mandatory documents required is educational qualification. And that has been mentioned in the nomination paper. So my election agent has raised a specific question. He may be given time as per the instructions of the Election Commission of India. We are not saying that it should be rejected, but we wanted to satisfy ourselves that whether the information furnished in the nomination paper and that too by taking an oath is correct or not, because educational qualification is one of the mandatory documents required to be filed by their candidate. So please look at the para 12. So time for rebuttal may be given, but there is a time limit set by the Election Commission of India.
point in not there is a form to file the evidence of the minister.
No, if you want that, we should submit in writing. I'll put in writing now. We have raised this issue in presence of the observer, and the candidate has to explain, and that is required as per the Election Commission of India's instruction, and that is part of the Supreme Court judgment. So therefore, the candidate has to apply for time. It's not me to apply for time. We are raising an objection. It's not something to be explained by me. It's to be explained by the candidate.
As far as education qualification is concerned, I've told time and again that I'm ready to provide the certification anytime, but it is sworn in front of the board commissioner, so that is an affidavit. If there is any false data which the candidate is asking that I have provided, and I'm ready to accept the consequences. And as far as the question which was raised repeatedly regarding the dependent, I've told time and again that if you can just find out, and whatever election commission has referred, that if minors are dependent, but they are not minors, so they are all majors, they are all crossed about 18 years of age. So I don't see any problem. And my legal advisor will also be here to explain certain things.
In that case, what I would suggest is, as per the direction of the Election Commission of India, the candidate may be given time till day after tomorrow. This is the instruction of the Election Commission of India. Till day after tomorrow. And that too, the candidate has to apply for time to rebut any objection. The candidate has to apply for time, and the time may be given by the returning officer. Is the maximum time is till day after tomorrow, because today being the scrutiny day. No, that is why we are asking.
Please give him time to speak.
We
Certificate the decision of the returning
Yes, but the very important that yes, the document is submitted with the idea of forms. One of them can have one. But you never hide.
We are asking certain information furnished by the candidate to be substantiated, because this is something one cannot furnish false information. This is a mandatory requirement laid down by the Election Commission of India, educational qualification. Now we are raising this issue that since it is mentioned in the nomination paper under oath, we would like to see that the claim regarding educational qualification is substantiated, and the candidate has to submit explanation as per the instruction of the Election Commission. It's not my asking. Now, the candidate may seek time, but we cannot wait for months together. The Election Commission of India says, in case the date of scrutiny is today, the time limit set by the Election Commission of India is that day after tomorrow is the deadline by which time the rebuttal has to be submitted. So now it is for the returning officer to consider the issues raised by us and pass a judgment that yes, it is as per the Election Commission of India that you will be allowed time to submit the rebuttal and then substantiate your claim. As simple as that. We are not suggesting rejection. We simply wanted to understand whether this is a false information or true information furnished by a particular candidate. And in case this information is being raised by us as an issue, then certain clarification has to be given by the person who has furnished the information that, yes, this is my qualification. And it's not by saying, it's Election Commission of India saying.
Documentary evidence, P and the certificate, sir, you can call a certificate.
I can provide not an issue. Otherwise, affidavit or
So what I would submit is, we will now give in writing, asking for this clarification, the documents mentioned in the nomination papers, so that the returning officer may give the candidate time as per the instructions of the Election Commission of India. We want to put things on record. So we will submit an application now, a request to the returning officer. These are the issues raised by the election agent of the candidate so and so, and the Congress candidate has been given time up to this to submit the rebuttal as per the instructions of the Election Commission of India. Please record that, as simple as that.
Objection to be an Tankale, Hanba, dependent Matandu, dependent or commissioner, no dependent higher. The candidate himself explained before us, dependent poetry. This question does not arise. But I think any family question arise doctor and color. Madam Dicay, no, other than the court, any like Neriba, judgment, Pina, Kari, Nina, Maduna Pona, I think Karigumba, appellant court, Amada, Makuna. appeal before the jury dependent like court commissioner dependent for taking candidate himself should clearly explain to the man no longer dependent poetry or minor poetry or export qualification certificate Madu Mashidi due to forgotten Hydra Aduga Mashidisu enclosed over Hydra from Lake Tavanina. Later, Nina, Madu to port candidate himself to open a height and the question of the right of the head and low there in the Tankaliba, anything settled to lower the pay, right in low.
It's a very simple and clear case. I was
Nasi Bibiro, Nasi, Limu, Bibiro, the city, the certificate saying I see by minimum on the video question like you.
I didn't get it.
Not a compulsory to submit a certificate of education qualification. It was mentioned
in the nomination papers. This is part of the mandatory requirements and educational qualification being a mandatory requirement to be submitted by a particular candidate. In case we raise certain issues in the course of scrutiny of the papers, the Election Commission of India says that the returning officer may give the candidate concerned some time.
As far as the rebuttal is concerned, there is no educational qualification required for any election as far as the Election Commission of India is concerned. Number one, going to be noted. Number two, if whatever document which I have already furnished, as far as the Election Commission of India is It's a false statement which has been given. So however, if any of my educational qualification documentation are concerned, I'm ready to provide. So can we proceed? Can we listen to the returning officer?
No. Certain doubts need to be clarified. They have not understood.
I think the clarification is more than enough. It's a very clear and simple case.
They have not understood.
It is as clear as clear water.
They have not understood the point
The
raised.
Election
by
Commission of
us.
India has not given any mandatory educational qualification requirement in any of the elections. Going to be noted.
That is not the point we are raising.
If any, and the second point is any of my documentation required, I'm ready to provide, but it was not mentioned in the whatever the nomination papers that this paper should be attested or whatever should be enclosed. So that is the reason. So I think it's a very clear and simple case. So if it's up to the RO to kindly proceed, so let's not waste the time of the returning officer as well as the candidates.
See, perhaps there is some confusion in understanding the point raised.
So
by
there
us.
is no confusion at all. It's
We
a
are
very
not.
simple case.
We are
It's
not
very simple.
insisting. We
It's
are not
straightforward
insisting.
question.
We are not raising the question of educational qualification. We are simply
The Election
raising.
Commission of India does not
Bear with me. I am explaining to the House.
does not give any educational qualification for any of the candidates in whatsoever elections.
See, the point being raised by us.
So my point out here is, Mr. Observer is also here, the returning officer is also here. In any elections till date, since India got independence, is there any cases where any of the elections which has been held, be it in the Gram Panchayat level, be it in the municipality elections, be it the MLA elections, be it in the parliamentary elections, any elections, any educational qualifications are required. That is the point. And any of this qualification, educational qualification is documented and never included of the nomination papers. So that was clearly written, which was not mentioned there. That is the reason which we have not brought our documents. But in case if it is required, then I'm ready to provide. It's a very straightforward, simple case.
amaga ina thamjani amna nasari ko ML ko ge candidate ne so hare educational qualification ge any qualification ko diya hai akhoina machine natra so akhoina B certificate machine delete or B certificate ko thoke su ya man di kari no hai wo madun major or benefit qualification di any qualification metric pass or su ya metric pass or su ya ko taman ina any certificate ko pa ya
Mom, be passed away, I don't know the way I met passed away, that doesn't matter. The Queen Palm 40, Man, MB, and Harry, she never have to.
But it will take time to procure the certificate.
No, I will be able to provide, not an issue. It's up to the RO, we have already explained. This is the same point, we're just beating around the bush. The same point has been repeated again and again. So please kindly, RO, please take the decision. We're just beating around the bush. Let's not waste time.
Queen Palm 40, Man, MB, and Harry, she never have to.
But it will take time to procure the certificate.
No, I will be able to provide, not an issue. It's up to the RO, we have already explained. This is the same point, we're just beating around the bush. The same point has been repeated again and again. So please kindly, RO, please take the decision. We're just beating around the bush. Let's not waste time.
The Prem Sir Singh, 27 MCP, 27 by 20, serial number 768. Which sector is this? So, main low it. Morning, my last part.
Number one. Ani sudah form any other liability have to later with explanation explanation sudah dependent kaya utpa kaya untuk itu yang dekat hai nama
Resident address is the permanent Irian Mumdeka, Moiran POPS, Moiran District.
Ada malah residential di Kalibumba, Kalihani.
File serial number 768, Electoral Road, part number 20.
Residential line ada di Kalibumba untuk
For first phase of our activity, we have built our residential address. It is very important to say like that. This is the first phase of the activity. We have already given the residential address.
Kalau di details tu, kayak jauh dia, details tu.
Point not totally acceptable.
Maka tak boleh query yang tak.
Dependenda, tabak coba coba, ada income laku lak tapi juga, ayat kan benda, keruat pun tu berani kali, only wife the pilgra, karigumba dependency itu tu jauh dah, hai ba, tahu dia ni lalu tu ida, hai tu, tahu boleh ida ni tu dah, hai tahu dia ni uli itu, apa kerana cuma dia, malu itu tahu boleh, habis dua.
Detail public evaluation jauh lagi.
There is that point, but in the election of the election commission, but there is not the government appointment of the dependents. That is only the mobile, immobile, and that is the required for giving assessment regarding the service or non-service. That is not requirement in that. That is why we do not mention.
Yes, affidavit magi mami ngomdi hajaba. She so and so and residential of so and high but in details speak the wrong sagi kanodo. The residential kala mami yagiba. Residential buildings and kala mami deba. That means magi details of the location surveys some that area is purchased or not inherited. So and so details ka kuya ba everything nil line lai ko sabi ye atu katang na ako na haje badi lai photo as I model the lai or father the lai katang
is given in the
yes atu katang iki
no actually give
We have already mentioned.
It's already mentioned in the affidavit.
Please peruse.
All the details are
If you want
furnished.
to take the copy and we may produce the
Ah,
photocopy.
Maybe you have not read. Maybe you have not read. But Aro might have.
After you have gone through and then you submit, please.
Aro.
So the candidate, see, Jose, after retirement, he has worked as an administrator in Nestle Technology, which I believe is an office of profit. So is there any relieving letter of any sort from a particular institution?
Cannot like you know, so my candidate says my talk to you, after they have documents like this.
Thabak tawi haibisidi akhoi dum masa sign to letter akhoi show to hamjagani aduga masi institute akhoi na confirm tawragasu verification call ama tawragasu National Institute of Technology Parliament level tawrag hamjuk khangdo dumani aduga masi koi it's not a voluntary organization, it's not a koi this is an office of profit. He was drawing salary.
Let the complaint be raised, giving the documents. Let the candidate raise the complaint, raise the issue
I'm
by furnishing the
raising the
document.
issue now.
And no, please furnish the document saying that I'm an employee. As simple as that. As simple as that. We want a documentary evidence suggesting that I'm an employee of any organization. Let there be a complaint in writing.
We want to know, is there any relieving letter of any sort from a particular institute? Since this is an office of profit.
It sounds little funny.
It is not funny.
When there is no document.
It is not funny, it is a fact.
When there is a
It is a
document
fact. The whole of the study knows that.
saying that, look, here is an appointment order, suggesting that this guy is still an employee of any organization. Let there be a complaint filed.
Still an employee or not, that is not a question. If any particular person has left any organization, there should be a relieving letter of any sort, be it in the public or the private sector. And as far as the Election Commission of India is concerned, no, there is a particular parameter which says that he or she should not hold any office or profit.
Yeah,
I think this is a very serious issue.
noted.
But it's acceptable.
Acceptable, any more acceptable.
Thank you very much.
Whether it's very pleasant.
You belong to which batch?
Yeah.
Which batch do you belong to?
But I
Unlimited.
was.
But he said that you're from Assam.
Yeah, I work in Assam.
You're working in Assam. Which batch?
95.
Huh?
95.
95 batch. 95 who are very
Sajjad.
Sajjad Hassan. He was in England. Original document is
Yes. So we request all your cooperation.
Yes.
For so that we could conduct the application.
Next one.